Seniors, stop what you're doing right now. If you're over 60 and still doing these three exercises, you're playing Russian roulette with your spine. What if I told you that the very exercises your doctor recommended, the ones you see other seniors doing at the gym, could be silently destroying your back? It sounds impossible, right? But hidden inside these seemingly harmless movements are biomechanical disasters waiting to happen. And here's the terrifying part. Over 99% of seniors have no idea they're one rep away from a herniated disc, nerve damage, or chronic pain that could change their lives forever. New research from spine specialists reveals that these three common exercises create forces on your lower back, equivalent to lifting a refrigerator. Yet, they're still taught in senior fitness classes across the country. One study published in the Journal of Biomechanics found that a single exercise on our list generates enough spinal compression to damage healthy discs, let alone ones already weakened by decades of living. That's not just uncomfortable, that's dangerous. And the most shocking part? One of these exercises is so destructive that the United States Army has banned it from their fitness tests after discovering it caused 56% of all exercise-related injuries. Every year, millions of seniors walk into gyms thinking they're protecting their health. But what if those three exercises, the routine ones your trainer says will strengthen your core, could actually push you closer to surgery, disability, or a lifetime of chronic pain? The science is buried in medical journals that most people will never read. Your fitness instructor doesn't know it. Your physical therapist might not even be aware. But today, we're uncovering it all. In this video, the three exercises you should never do after 60 and the terrifying truth about what they can do to your spine, all backed by real biomechanical research, and you won't believe which exercise made it to number 1. Before we begin, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from, your age, and have you ever experienced back pain during or after exercising? Do you think seniors are being given the wrong fitness advice? We're reading and replying to every single comment with personalized tips and advice. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Now, without any further delay, let's talk about the first exercise. Why it looks harmless but could quietly destroy your quality of life forever. Number 3, sit-ups and crunches. They seem so innocent, a classic exercise that's been around for decades. No weights, no machines, just you lying on the floor doing what millions of people call core strengthening. But here's what no one tells you. Every single crunch you do after 60 is like taking a sledgehammer to your spine. This isn't an exaggeration, it's mechanical reality. When you perform a sit-up, you're forcing your curved spine to flatten against the floor, while your hip flexor muscles yank on your lower vertebrae. That pulling sensation you feel isn't your abs getting stronger. It's your spine being compressed and twisted in ways it was never designed to handle. Dr. Stuart McGill, the world's leading spine researcher, spent decades studying what happens to your back during crunches. His findings were so alarming that they changed military fitness programs forever. Here's the science that will shock you. Each sit-up creates compressive forces on your spine equivalent to having someone stand on your back. For a senior whose spinal discs are already dehydrated and less elastic from aging, this compression is devastating. The intervertebral discs, those cushions between your vertebrae, are squeezed like water balloons under pressure. Over time, this repeated compression causes microscopic tears in the disc walls. Those tears accumulate, weaken the disc structure, and eventually lead to bulging or herniated discs. But the damage doesn't stop there. Sit-ups create what spine experts call hip flexor dominans. Your hip flexors, the muscles that run from your thighs to your lower back, become overactive and tight. When these muscles tighten, they literally pull your pelvis forward, creating an unnatural arch in your lower back. This position puts constant stress on your lumbar vertebrae, even when you're not exercising. You'll start feeling stiffness when you wake up, pain when you stand from sitting, and that nagging ache that never quite goes away. We had a patient named Dorothy, a 74-year-old retired teacher who had been doing sit-ups religiously for 2 years. She started because her daughter convinced her it would strengthen her core and prevent falls. Dorothy was dedicated, doing 50 crunches every morning before breakfast. She felt proud of her commitment to fitness, but gradually, she began experiencing lower back pain that she attributed to sleeping wrong or sitting too long. The pain got worse over months until one morning she couldn't get out of bed without excruciating spasms. Her MRI revealed 2 bulging discs and significant inflammation around her L4 and L5 vertebrae. When we reviewed her exercise routine, the connection became clear. Those daily crunches had been systematically destroying her spinal discs through repeated compression and flexion. We immediately stopped all sit-ups and replaced them with stabilization exercises like modified planks and bridges. Within 6 weeks, her pain decreased significantly. After 3 months, she was moving freely again and told us she felt stronger than she had in years. The truth is, sit-ups don't even strengthen your core effectively. Harvard Medical School research confirms that crunches only activate a small portion of your abdominal muscles, while completely neglecting the deep stabilizers that actually protect your spine. You're doing all that damage for minimal benefit. It's like taking a chainsaw to trim your fingernails. If you're over 60 and still doing sit-ups, stop immediately. Your spine will thank you. Number 2, deadlifts. The deadlift is often called the king of exercises by fitness enthusiasts. It's praised for building total body strength and functional movement patterns. But for seniors, deadlifts represent one of the most dangerous exercises you can attempt. The risk-to-reward ratio is so skewed that even perfect form can't guarantee your safety. Here's why deadlifts are particularly devastating for older adults. The exercise requires you to lift heavy weight from the ground, while maintaining a precise spinal position. Your entire body must work in perfect coordination to keep your lower back in its natural arch while generating enormous force through your hips and legs. This coordination becomes increasingly difficult as we age due to decreased proprioception, reduced muscle mass, and slower reaction times. The biomechanical forces involved in deadlifting are staggering. Research shows that heavy deadlifts create compressive forces on the spine ranging from 5,000 to 18,000 newtons. To put that in perspective, that's equivalent to having a small car sitting on your lower back. For seniors whose bone density may be compromised and whose spinal discs have lost hydration over decades, these forces are catastrophic. But here's the insidious part. Form breakdown in deadlifts happens gradually and often imperceptibly. You might feel strong and confident during your first few reps, but as fatigue sets in, or if the weight is too heavy, small compensations begin. Your back rounds slightly, your knees straighten prematurely, or your core engagement weakens. These tiny form deviations multiply the stress on your spine exponentially. When deadlift form breaks down, the shearing forces on your vertebrae can exceed 3,000 newtons. Shearing force is when one vertebra slides against another, creating stress that your spinal ligaments and discs are not designed to handle. This type of force is particularly dangerous because it can cause sudden, severe injuries like disc ruptures or vertebral fractures. We treated a patient named Robert, a 68-year-old retired construction worker who decided to start strength training after his doctor warned him about bone loss. Robert was no stranger to physical labor and felt confident he could handle deadlifts. His trainer started him with what seemed like a reasonable weight, and for the first month, everything felt fine. Robert enjoyed the challenge and the feeling of getting stronger. But during his 6th week, while attempting a weight he had lifted successfully before, Robert felt a sharp pop in his lower back, followed by searing pain down his left leg. He collapsed and couldn't stand without support. The emergency room diagnosed a severely herniated L5-S1 disc with nerve impingement. The herniation was so severe that conservative treatment failed, and Robert required surgical discectomy to remove the damaged disc material pressing on his nerve root. Robert's recovery took 8 months, including physical therapy and ongoing pain management. He lost the independence he had worked so hard to maintain and developed a fear of physical activity that persisted long after his back healed, all from an exercise that was supposed to make him stronger and healthier. The tragedy is that deadlifts offer no unique benefits that can't be achieved through safer exercises. Hip hinges can be trained with lighter weights or resistance bands. Posterior chain strength can be built through bridges, bird dogs, and modified Romanian deadlifts with minimal load. The risk simply isn't worth the potential reward for seniors. If you're over 60, deadlifts should be completely off limits. There are dozens of safer ways to build functional strength without risking catastrophic spinal injury. Number 1, leg press machine. This might shock you because the leg press seems like the safest exercise on our list. You're sitting down, your back is supported, and you're just pushing with your legs. Gyms market leg press machines as joint-friendly alternatives to squats and deadlifts. Physical therapists often prescribe them for seniors recovering from injuries. But the leg press machine represents the most dangerous trap in senior fitness because it creates an illusion of safety while systematically destroying your spine. Here's what happens when you use a leg press machine. You sit on an angled bench with your back pressed against a pad and push weight with your feet against a platform. This position forces your lumbar spine to flatten completely, removing the natural arch that protects your spinal discs from compression. Your lower back, which should maintain its natural S-curve, is pressed flat against the bench under load. When your spine loses its natural arch, the intervertebral discs bear weight in a way they were never designed to handle. Instead of the load being distributed evenly across the disc surface, the pressure concentrates on the front edge of the disc. This concentrated pressure, multiplied by the weight you're pushing with your legs, creates forces that can rupture disc walls instantaneously. The research on leg press injuries is disturbing. Studies show that the flattened spinal position can generate disc pressures equivalent to lifting twice your body weight, but without any of the protective muscle activation that occurs during standing exercises. Your core muscles, which would normally brace and protect your spine during heavy lifting, remain largely inactive because you're sitting down. This leaves your spinal discs completely vulnerable to the enormous forces generated by your leg muscles. What makes this even more dangerous is that seniors often load leg press machines with weights they could never safely handle in a standing position. The seated position creates a false sense of security. You think you're protected because you're sitting down, so you add plate after plate, pushing weights that create forces your spine simply cannot withstand. We had a devastating case with a patient named Margaret, a 71-year-old retired nurse who had always been health conscious. After a minor knee injury, her physical therapist recommended leg press exercises to rebuild her quadriceps strength while protecting her knee joint. Margaret was diligent, gradually increasing the weight over several weeks. She felt proud of her progress and enjoyed the sense of accomplishment from moving heavier loads. During what seemed like a routine set at a weight she had handled before, Margaret heard a loud pop, followed by excruciating pain shooting down both legs. She couldn't move from the machine without help. Her MRI revealed a massive L4-L5 disc rupture, with fragments pressing on multiple nerve roots. The injury was so severe that she developed cauda equina syndrome, a medical emergency requiring immediate surgery to prevent permanent paralysis. Even after successful surgery, Margaret lost bowel and bladder control for months and developed chronic nerve pain that required daily medication. Her active lifestyle ended that day. She went from independently caring for her grandchildren to needing assistance with basic daily activities. The exercise that was supposed to rehabilitate her knee destroyed her spine and changed her life forever. The most tragic part is how preventable this was. The same strengthening benefits could have been achieved through safer exercises like wall sits, mini squats, or resistance band leg extensions. None of these alternatives would have placed her spine in the compromised position that led to catastrophic injury. Here's what spine specialists now understand about the leg press machine. The combination of spinal flattening, heavy loading, and repetitive motion creates a perfect storm for disc failure. The machine doesn't just compress your discs, it does so in the worst possible spinal position while your protective muscles remain inactive. It's biomechanically equivalent to asking someone to jump on your back while you're bent forward touching your toes. If you're over 60, stay away from leg press machines entirely. The risk of catastrophic injury far outweighs any potential benefit. So there you have it. 3 exercises that masquerade as safe, effective movements, but actually represent serious threats to your spinal health. Sit-ups and crunches compress your discs while weakening your true core stabilizers. Deadlifts create enormous forces that overwhelmed aging spines cannot safely handle. And leg press machines trap you in the worst possible position for spinal loading while creating a dangerous illusion of safety. The good news is that safe, effective alternatives exist for every one of these exercises. Wall planks instead of crunches. Resistance band hip hinges instead of deadlifts. Supported squats instead of leg presses. These alternatives provide the same strengthening benefits without the catastrophic risk. Your spine has carried you through decades of life. After 60, it deserves protection, not punishment. Choose exercises that honor your body's current capabilities, rather than forcing it into positions and loads it can no longer safely handle. Now we want to hear from you. Have you experienced back pain from any of these exercises? What's your biggest concern about staying active safely as you age? Share your experiences in the comments below. We read and reply to every single one with personalized advice. If this video opened your eyes to the hidden dangers in senior fitness, share it with someone you care about. Because after 60, the right exercise choices aren't just about getting stronger. They're about protecting the mobility and independence that make life worth living. Thanks for watching.